Hi, I'm Debbie Hartner.
I'm Elsie Johnson.
We are two sisters, Southern cooking.
We're together again today. We are planning to make, first we're going to make our bread. We're going to do 2 loaves of bread. It's 1 batch in the mixer. So it's white bread. So
I've already put the water in. We had 2 cups of water. The temperature is between 105 and 115. So it was at 111, so that's perfect. And I've already put in a pinch of our honey because we're going to do it with honey instead of sugar today.
right. And I've got the rapid rise yeast,
The Red Star. So we're trying out this new yeast because Elsie and I, we went on a binge and spent a little money and said we're gonna spoil ourselves and
we
get some
had
good
a lot
stuff.
of money. We had a lot of money left from all the baked goods that we sold over the holidays. So we did pretty good with that, and we had enough over the holidays. We shipped everything that we needed to.
Yes.
So then we had a little bit of extra, and we bought a few things for the show, our cooking stuff. So we decided to buy some of this yeast. I'm gonna just move this around in here. I don't have a spoon with me right now. I'll just take the little thermometer just to get it under the water.
So what you do is you leave it in here for 5 to 10 minutes and let it proof. If it starts to fizzle and bubble up, then you know that yeast is active and it's ready to go. And then we can start the process on the rest of this.
So we'll be back in a minute. Okay, we are back. The yeast has started foaming, so it's been just a little over 5 minutes. So it's got lots of bubbles in there, so it's active and ready to go. So we're gonna put the rest of our honey in. This is gonna make it really have a good flavor because it's gonna have a little sweetness to it too.
Normally you would put the sugar in and of course the yeast will eat up the sugar too. So.
Right, well we put enough of that in so that it activated the yeast, because yeast will activate with warm water and sugar. That's what activates it. So,
And I'm gonna just go ahead and put our salt in.
and the oil.
And then we're gonna do our flour.
And at first we're gonna put 3 cups of flour in, and then we'll turn the mixer on. And then we'll add in 1 more cup of flour, and then we'll start. We have another 1.5 cups that you can work in if needed.
Now we have our dough hook on because it does need to be mixed together, so the dough hook will pull it in and start to combine
Eventually, yeah.
And
Okay, let's get this lowered into it.
so we'll do this like at a medium here, so we'll go ahead and start it.
Together. Yeah, now it's doing really good. It's pulling together really nice. Just a little bit more.
So we let our dough mix for about 4 to 5 minutes on medium speed, and so it can get well mixed together and incorporated, so it's coming out like a nice round dough ball. So I think that's going to be perfect. Here, let me take this off. Oh, yeah. Well, just dumped a bunch of flour on myself.
It is not overly sticky, so that's good. But it is pretty heavy.
Look at that.
This looks nice.
Nice.
So I'm gonna kind of roll it into a ball, and we're gonna put it into this bowl, and we're gonna cover it up and let it sit for,
an hour and a half. Actually, it's going to be an hour and a half. So I just wanted to give you a heads up. So I learned a little trick. So Elsie and I was talking about this, and she said put it in the oven, turn the oven on, and get it warm, not hot, but
and
warm.
turn the oven back off.
And turn it off, and then put your dough back in there, and just let it proof, and it'll raise.
Right.
So
there you go. My hands are oily, so
absolutely. All right, guys, so we'll go ahead and put this in there for an hour and a half, then we'll come back when we're ready to divide it up, and then we'll get our pans ready. In the meantime, we're gonna start working on our donuts and our fritters, which has to rise also, so we're using the Red Star yeast. So we are pretty excited to give it a try, because that was one of the things that Elsie and I wanted to do, was get some good quality yeast so we can make some good quality baking. So
yeah, we want to try the Red Star yeast.
we want to try the platinum soon too, but right now we have the instant rise and the active yeast, so we have both. So all right, guys, and we'll see you right back when we're done.
Hey y'all, we're back at the final thing before we let it rise for its final time in the loaf pans. This is for the 2 loaves of yeast bread that we made. So you have to punch it down and get any air bubbles out of there. If you have any aggression, that probably would be feeling really nice to do.
Good time to do it now.
So I'm going to try to split this in 2 as best as possible, and then just form it into like a log of sorts. And I'm going to move this out of the way. And I
wanted to mix it a little bit because there were some areas on it that got a little crusty from being close to the stove. So I wanted to reincorporate that into there. So
and this looks, here, let me roll it around a little.
And I'm going to make sure that that one doesn't have any crusty areas on it.
Yeah, and I'm going to pull it out as good as I can. Fold it under so that the top is a little more smooth than normal. Okay, now
that around here.
Yeah, and then it will double in size again inside this, and then when it's done doing that, then we will put it in the oven to bake. This has to set up and do basically a second rise inside the pan for
45 minutes.
For 45 minutes.
All right, double check that, Elsie, while I grease up my hands on this.
Yeah, and this, we're oiling up our saran wrap or plastic wrap
so it doesn't stick.
so it doesn't stick to the top of it when it rises, and you can peel it off without damaging your loaf.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and let it rise for 45 minutes. We'll show you what it looks like when it's ready to get into the oven. It's gonna rise 1 inch above the rim, and then we're gonna pop it in the oven at 350. It's usually like 30, 33 minutes to get it done. And then we'll be all set and have some delicious white bread.
Yes.
Homemade, fresh white bread.
Hey y'all, the loaves of bread have risen. They are ready to go in the oven for 30 to 33 minutes at 350 degrees. So I'm gonna go put them in the oven right now.
Got some delicious bread coming, y'all. See you when you come back.
These look so yummy.
Look at this, guys. Homemade bread.
It sounds hollow inside, so it's gonna be really good.
Oh, does it smell good. So we're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of butter on top, a little melted butter on top, invert them, let them cool down for like 10 minutes, take them out of the pans. We're gonna have some good eating, y'all. Y'all have a great night. Take care.
Elsie.
And I'm Debbie.
We're two sisters Southern cooking.
And we thank you for visiting our page. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you.